Continue with our Friday afternoon class, Halachos of Brochos. Today, class number 9. And we start with, one second, start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And today's topic, serious threats. Okay. The Torah commands us, do not stand aside while your fellow blood is being shed. Ikar 19:16. We are obligated to spare no efforts in preventing our fellow Jews from suffering physical, emotional, and monetary damage. In situation where a potential victim is unaware that he is being threatened, one is required to warn him, even though this will reflect negatively on a person or persons responsible. Speech of this sort is not merely permissible, it is obligatory. Nevertheless, one must be certain that conditions which render speech constructive have been properly met. See day 42, 50. Okay, I don't know. Oh, he's asking how to apologize. Unless you want to send. One second, I think. Copy. Okay, so let's give him maybe a minute or two. Okay. So I saw that you sent messages. I have a chance to listen to them yet. So.
What's it called, Rabbi? Before you told me to daven mincha, what's it called? Before Shabbos starts. Now, should I do it earlier, like afternoon time, or no?
No, do the same time. Don't spend your efforts like to get 1 minute. Just do all of them in one shot.
Understood.
Okay, that's it. Second. All right, so we have Abraham with us. Okay, so today we have different topic. So Baruch Hashem, you joined just on time. So today we're learning Halachos of Brochos. So basically, what bracha you say on what food, right? And when do you say it, and how you say it, and if you have two food items. So now we're in the middle of chapter. What is it? Chapter? Whatever chapter is it? So the topic is Ikar and Tofel. So Ikar is a primary food, and Tofel is a subordinate food. So basically, if you have Ikar and Tofel, so primary and subordinate food, you make blessing on a primary food, and it's automatically include the subordinate food. Okay. So we're on section D. So if any questions, as usual, we have an open question policy. Just stop, and we're going to explain. But that's basically the introduction. So section D, determining the Ikar component of the mixture. So we said before we said that if you have a mixture, so most of the time you need to make only one blessing. Okay. So let's continue. Okay. Once we have determined that a particular mixture is judged as one single entity, required only one bracha, one must then determine which components of the mixture is Ikar. So meaning now you have, for example, what would be example? You have a salad, right? So let's say you have this salad, and you have like a garden salad, right? And you have pieces, I don't know, of chicken, right? So okay, like cut in cubes, right? So what blessing you should make on a chicken, or you have to make on vegetables, or on chicken and vegetables, or how does it work? So basically, so we said since it is cut, right, in this specific example, on small pieces, so we have to determine, and it's mixed, right? It's a single entity. You eat in one spoonful, as they call it, right? So it is mixture. So as we said, one blessing should be enough. Okay. So now we must determine which is a primary and make the blessing on a primary. Okay. The following criteria are used to determine which ingredients are Ikar. Ikar is primary. Number one, the mixture contains Mezonot. The Mezonot is dim Ikar. Commentary. In certain cases, Mezonot is not dim Ikar, as discussed later in this section. So we're going to. Okay. So basically, if you have Mezonot in the food, of course, in a bigger quantity, right? So it's always going to be primary. So what is Mezonot? Is a product of 5 grain, right? So which is what? Which is wheat, what is this? Wheat, spelt, barley, oats, and rice. Any question?
Yes. When you say a bigger part, you mean it has to be the majority?
No. Majority that's automatically, but smaller part. I mean, not few crumbs.
Understand. Okay.
You understand? So we're going to look. Number 2, if mixture does not contain Mezonot, the ingredients being enhanced is Ikar. So, for example, what would be the example? If we have this our salad that I was discussing before, and you put mayo. So this mayo or salad dressing, whatever it is, so it's for sure it's you're not going to eat mayo by itself or salad dressing by itself. So the salad dressing for sure 100% only to improve the salad. Okay, so that's number 2. And number 3, if the mixture contains neither Mezonot nor enhancers, right, the majority ingredients is dim Ikar. So this would be for example, as last time we gave this example of such a mixture, you have as they call it fruit salad. But even though we know if they call it fruit salad, you can have pineapple, which is not a fruit; it's a vegetable, right? Or other things like right. So in this case, you have to go by majority. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to go into details one by one. Number 1, mixture contains Mezonot. Because of the Hashuvos, right, significance of Mezonot, when Mezonot food is added to give flavor and or sustenance to the single entity and to the single entity mixture, it is always considered as the Ikar. Okay. Even if the other ingredients in a mixture are more expensive, more voluminous, or preferred, nevertheless, the Mezonot being more choshev is considered the Ikar. So let's read the commentary, the example, and then we're going to explain, to illustrate. The correct bracha on cholent contains barley, a Mezonot grain. So barley is one of the 5 species of Mezonot, right? Beans and small pieces of potatoes, so it's barley, right? Beans, small pieces of potatoes. So why is 10 small? Just to remind us, because if pieces of potato big, they're not considered to be mixture, right? As we said. So mixture means that when you like take with one fork, with one spoon, it's going to be in one spoonful. You're going to have all of the ingredients. That's what it means. But if you have bigger pieces of potato, maybe one piece of potato is going to fit in a spoon, but no more. That's not considered to be mixture. Okay, the small pieces of potato and meat. Just 1 second. So the blessing is Baremi Mezonot. Okay. Even though the barley is neither the majority ingredients nor most preferred ingredients, it is nevertheless considered the Ikar component of the cholent, since it is Mezonot grain. So note, although the correct bracha on rice is Baremi Mezonot, it nevertheless does not have Hashuv of the five Mezonot grains to be considered the Ikar. Rather, it is considered as the ordinary ingredients. Also, beverage such as beer, although made of Mezonot grain, are not considered Mezonot, which with regard to the Bracha, Baremine Mezonot, and with regard to being considered Ikar in a mixture. Okay, so we have a lot of information, so let's try to go from the beginning, and plus I missed one commentary. Okay, so let's see. So first of all, Mezonot is what? So let's repeat one more time. It's wheat, spelt, barley, oats, and rye. So all of these five species, right? So they all are in the same category of Mezonot, right? And since like after blessing, when we say after blessing from them, there is special along Alamihya, right? The special after blessing. So that's how we know that it's in separate category, right? So we say if it's for sustenance meaning like for satiation, right? For satiation with this Mezonot, or to give flavor, right? So in order to give flavor, you like you have a little more than minimum amount, right? It should be a little more, right? I'm not sure what percentage wise what should be, how much it should be to give flavor, but I mean flavor, you just taste the food and you see if it can taste this Mezonot. Okay, so let's say we're talking about this cholent, right? And it's pieces of barley, not pieces, the barley, right? And what else is there? 1 second, barley, beans, and small pieces of potato and meat, right? Let's simplify an example. So in this case, we would say Baremine Mezonot on the mixture, and it's going to cover all of the meat and all of the vegetables, basically. That's it. And in a note, we said about rice. So we spoke about rice before because people asked different questions, not related to what we are doing right now, but just to summarize again. So even though we say Baremine Mezonot on rice, it's not one of the 5 species, right? So when you eat the rice alone, let's say, or you have a like platter of rice and piece of chicken, so you say Baremine Mezonot on rice, and you say shechakol on chicken, because of course, as we understand it, it's not mixed, right? Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you go to a buffet, we talked about this before, then you put 2 separate foods on your plate, and like even if they look mixed, this and that, both of them are their separate brachas, correct?
Yeah. Yes. So I mean, they're not mixed. You're saying even though they on your plate they're situated next to each other, 100%, maybe even overlap a little, but they were not cooked as a mixture, and are not prepared as a mixture.
Because so it has to be cooked as a mixture, not just placed together,
or prepared. For example, the salad, right? So salad. I mean, but it has to be consider one dish. Let's put it this way. So salad is one dish. It's not cooked. Everything is raw, but it's one dish. Makes sense?
Yeah. So let's say I have rice, right? Then on top of the rice, I put beans. Okay. I didn't mix it, but I put it on top, right? It's going to mix whatever by itself, so on and so forth. At that point, is it Ikar Tofel, or is it 2 separate brachas?
It's a good question. So if to get out of the doubt, if you mix it, you'll get out of the doubt and say Baremine Mezonot on rice, and you're good.
Understood.
You understand? Because when it's on top, I mean you're going a little ahead, but just to summarize. So when it's on something on top is not mixed. This is separate. Rice is separate, so you can eat separate rice, right, with a spoonful, and if you take from top, you can take beans separately. You understand? It's not mixture. Mixture we said with one spoonful without any like I don't know, what is you can get this and that together. Okay, got it? Make sense? Okay, go ahead. All right, no problem. So all right, so we have these 5 species. So if you have it, if you have one of the 5 species, and we said it's for satiation or for flavor, so we say baremine mizonos. Okay. Okay, so okay, I apologize. So we left off on rice. So rice is on one hand, it's we say baremine mizonos, but when it is in a mixture, it's not considered to be like choshev as barley, for example, when you have to say blessing on rice. That's the thing. Okay. So all the mixtures with rice, so you can go by like, let's say, majority ingredients. Okay. And after the rice, so we say baren nefashos, right? Regular blessing, as you say after the beans, for example. Okay, let's see. A, consider ikar only when used in significant way. Okay, that's what we said before. Let's see. This rule that mizonos ingredients is always considered ikar, component of the mixture, applies only when mizonos is used in significant way. There is, even if added to give flavor and or sustenance to the mixture. Okay, so I mean, if it's only few, I mean, some people add some flour, for example, for the thickening, right? A thickening agent. You can add. I don't remember all of these things like some other ingredients, but the cheapest way, and you can add like cornstarch and stuff like that, but you can always add the flour. So of course it's not for a flavor, it's not for a satiation, it's like as a thickening agent. So in this case, it's not primary, of course, ingredient. In most cases, mizonos such as barley, flour, oatmeal, noodles, and the like are in fact used to give flavor and sustenance, and therefore do become an ikar ingredient. In cholent, for example, the barley is added both for flavor and sustenance, and is therefore deemed as ikar. So of course it's not three pieces of barley. Of course we understand that. B, consider Tofel when used in a non-significant way. Okay. When mizonos ingredients are used solely for a non-significant way, it is not considered hashuv and is not deemed ikar. Okay, so let's see the example. So maybe that's what I say. If you only a few pieces, so of course it's not ikar. Ikar is a primary. The following are considered non-significant uses: used as a binder or thickening agent. As I said, so I mean, I would say, can you taste the flavor of flour? I don't think because it's they usually use it for gravy. So it's mixed. It's meat gravy mixed with flour. I would not say that you can taste the flour. So it's only a thickening agent. So it's secondary, right?
I have a question. So if I have ice cream with, I don't know, let's say pieces of cookie in it, it's gonna be mizonos?
So if pieces of cookie like on top, or how's it pieces of cookie?
So I mean, you know, you buy the ones from the grocery, from the supermarket, right? Then there are bits, you know, inside of the mixed up somewhere.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Mix inside. So it's a good question. So on one, but you see, it depends on the size of the pieces. I mean, if it's significant sizes, so of course you should make a separate blessing for mizonos, of course.
What's considered? What's considered a significant size for this?
I mean that you can see maybe like half a nail size. I don't know, something like that. Nail size, yeah. So if it's tiny pieces, I mean, if it's just crumbs, I don't know how to put it. Maybe if it's just crumbs, so it's not significant. So maybe it's more for show. But if it's big pieces of cookies, okay.
So if it's the size of, let's say, a chocolate chip, no bracha.
I would not chocolate chip. I see we have a chocolate chip, so it's a size of nail, the pinky nail. I would say like big ones. Like but I understand there is small ones. I would say if such a small and only few pieces here and there, don't make a bracha, because it's not in significant quantity.
Understood. Okay.
But bigger size. So it's not many things. I mean, they're not going to define exactly specific sizes and weights, as we understand, right? So it's not. There are no such thing. Just to explain. Okay. So let's continue reading, and but through the experience, we'll figure out what to use, what blessing to say. Okay, so next one, used to give color or aroma. Okay, so it's also not non-significant uses. I don't have any examples of how to use for color or aroma. I have no idea. Next one, yeah.
One more thing. So at least what I know is that a lot of times when people buy these ice creams, right, or these Oreo ice creams, okay, really they just want to get the Oreos inside. So they only make Mezonot on that, on the whole thing.
Absolutely. That's 100%. Well, in an example that you said, and just since Abraham was not with us last time, so if there are two ingredients and even one is a minority, but you like it more, so it becomes a primary food. Ikar. Absolutely, that's simple example. Not simple example. That's straightforward case. Not straightforward case, but when you eat and then you find out that it's cooked and now you like it, and so in this case you would need say blessing if it's in a significant piece. Yeah, go ahead.
So if it's a minority, that counts not just Mezonot for anything, Adama, anything.
No. If you like things, for example, like I don't know what would be example, like something inside. So you're going to eat everything like outside in order to get the piece inside. I don't have any example. So this tiny piece inside is a primary food for you.
Mm-hmm. Not just on Mezonot, anything.
On anything, yes.
Understood.
Yeah. Okay. So continue. So last thing we said, for color or aroma, it's not significant. So we dismiss Mezonot as a component. Next one, use as a coating to prevent the food from sticking to the pan or to other pieces. Okay, so for example, you frying, I don't know, chicken, and then you put some flour, or you frying fish, right? So and you dip the fish into egg, for example, and then you dip into the flour, and then you put it on a frying pan, and you fry it like this. So in this case, it's a very thin coat, and unless you buy, I don't know, from the store or something like when they put like a very thick coat. But usually what we do at home, like it's a thin coat, and so it would be non-significant way, basically. Okay, so let's see. For example, if flour was added to soup in order to thicken it, the flour does not become Ikar, and the Brachot on the soup does not become Mezonot. To further illustrate, okay, before we continue, so basically here, I think it's a good example to make the food, the soup thicker. So they add flour, but there are other thickening agents that much better than flour. So the flour is the cheapest way to thicken the soup. Okay. To further illustrate, if matzah meal or breadcrumbs are added to the meatball as a binding agent, the bracha on the meatball does not become Mezonot. That's I think it's a brilliant addition, right? So of course, and it's not only like breadcrumbs. I saw my wife doing this meatballs. So she adds like significant, like even big piece. Of course, it's mixed together. It's not so much bread, but I mean in the mixture. I'm not sure what the ratio would be, but still it's not. Since it was added as a binding agent, there is no. It's not chashuv. Okay. Just 1 second. So continue. If, however, Mezonot is added both as a binder or coloring agent, etc., and also to give sustenance or flavor to the mixture, it's deemed Ikar. So if for satiation, for sustenance, and plus as a flavor, so that's as you said, that's a different story. Okay, for example, and the oatmeal, if oatmeal was added to the vegetable latkes, both as a binder and also to give flavor, or to give a flavor, or for satiation, the oatmeal considered Ikar. So the Hanukkah is coming, so we make this latkes. So we make this latkes. So it depends. If you put a lot of flour in there, it would be baramina mizonis. I mean, when I say a lot, of course, it is minority ingredients. That's majority is potatoes and what is it, and onions. Okay. So continue. So number 2, ingredient used to enhance is dim tofu. Okay. So the one like we say, like mayo to the salad. So for sure it's a tofu, which is subordinate. We have seen in section B that when one food is used to enhance another, for example, blintzes and sour cream, the enhancing food is considered tofu. Okay, so I think it's a straightforward question. So you have sour cream, right? So you would not eat the sour cream without these blintzes, right? It's understandable. So you never may make a blessing of the sour cream, even if they're not mixed. Okay, so I think that this is a good example, right? They're not mixed; they're only on the plate. Even next to each other, even you put some sour cream on top of it, does not make any difference. Okay, continue. This criterion also applies when determining which one of the ingredients in a single entity mixture will be the Ikar. Okay, so meaning if something was added only like as a secondary, so it. Okay, let's look at the example. We explain. For example, if one stews small pieces of meat in a large amount of diced peppers, and the peppers is added primarily to enhance flavor of meat, they are Tofel. Okay. Stew small pieces of meat. So one more time, let's understand example. If one stews small pieces of meat, so let's say he cut it in small pieces, in a large amount of diced peppers. So quantity-wise, peppers for sure they're majority, and the peppers are added primarily to enhance flavor of the meat. So for you, the main reason you eat this dish is meat, and peppers is just as enhancers, right? They are tofu. So basically, you make one blessing on the meat, and it includes the peppers. Even if the stew contains more peppers than meat, right? As we said, nevertheless, since the peppers are enhancers, they are considered tofu. The shechakol on the meat will cover the peppers as well. So it's straightforward. I think it's a very like a similar example to what David asked us about this ice cream. If it is a minority, but as you said, I want to eat because of these Oreo cookies. Okay, the Oreo cookies is the main. It's for sure it's minority, but of course I'm going to eat the ice cream because it enhances the cookies. So you say on a cookie. Okay, continue. Number 3, all other mixtures. So now you don't have a primary, you don't have secondary, and you don't have mezonos. What do you make? Where there is neither mezonos ingredients nor an enhancing ingredient, the majority ingredients is considered the Ikar. Okay, so we're going to say later on that there is an exception to this rule, and exception is if you like specific ingredient more than the others, it would be exception. But in this specific scenario, you don't have any preference. So you have mixture. So and you don't know what blessing to make. So you make on whatever is majority ingredient. Okay, continue. For example, if a goulash stew consists of small pieces of meat and potatoes, if the volume of the meat is greater than the volume of potatoes, the correct bracha is shechako, which covers the potatoes as well. If there are more potatoes than meat, the correct bracha is bare pri ha'adama, which covers meat as well. Okay, so let me see. There is one commentary, and we're going to explain. Only when pieces are small and usually eaten together in a single spoonful, is the mishke deemed as single entity. Okay. So one more time, only when pieces are small, so they would fit on one forkful, right, or spoonful, whatever it is. And now you don't have preference for pieces for meat or for potatoes. You like this and you like this. So in this case, it's very simple. You make a blessing on my majority. My majority potatoes, you say my majority is meat, you say shechako. It's clear. I think it should be simple, no? I mean that's I think that would be the most common example. I mean, not the most common situation. So when we just say on a minority, yes, go ahead. Majority.
What's it called? Meat. You always make a shackle on the meat, no? Because the meat is always the one that you want, right?
It depends on the person.
Wait, we're talking about cholent, or we're talking about?
No, it's a goulash. Goulash is a Hungarian food. It's like small pieces of meat. No, I mean pieces of meat with potatoes, basically.
Got it. Okay.
And then I mean, if you always like meat, so you make shechako. That's no brainer. But some people prefer potatoes and they like the flavor of the potatoes with meat sauce. You understand? So that's also could be a case. So in this case, they would make on a majority, which is, let's say, potatoes.
But in general, when we don't know what brocha to make, and we make a shackle, right? And I have all sorts of foods in front of me, and for some reason I don't know a bracha to any one of them. Does it cover all the foods my shackle, or only on the one I'm holding right now?
Okay, so I would say there's the different solutions to this situation. So the solution number one is go and check what it says on the internet or in the book, in the end of the book, what blessing. It's maybe harder solution. Let's say you don't have access to the book, you don't have access to internet. Okay, let's say it's Shabbos, right? So in this case, so if you do not know what bracha to make on that specific food, so you make blessing on different foods, even though you don't want to eat them so much as that specific food. Make, for example, maybe it's hadama, maybe it's choetz. So if you say hadama on something else, but banana, let's say, and maybe it's shechako for whatever reason you're not sure what is it. So you make on something besides water, on something else, and keep in mind that's what you want to eat. So that would be like a better solution than make shechako. You understand? So, and of course, you keep in mind that that unknown food should be covered as well. Okay. Okay, so continue. If it is not clear which ingredients is majority, okay, I mean, we're not expert. I cannot weigh with my eyes and see like what is the majority. Where practical, one should add or remove a bit of one of the ingredients of his plate in order to create definite majority. For cases when this is not practical, see chapter 16, section B. I don't know what chapter we're on. Chapter 4. So we're not going to get it so fast, basically. So one of the solutions that author is offering, that if it's possible, so you're not sure, it's like almost 50-50. If it's possible for you to add one of the ingredients to make it majority, do it. And in this case, you're going to go out of the doubt. So yes, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes, something related to that used to take some away. Now, I had a problem, and I want to know, let's say there's cake, right? Then this cake, you have, it looks like a kazais. The thing is that, you know, there's layers and some are filling, some are actually Mezonot. How do you know if you make an al-hamichya bracha achrona at the end?
Okay. So, so most of the poskim said that you have to have kazayis. Kazayis is just to remind us, kazayis is 28 grams, right? That's kazayis. Kazayis of flour, actually the kazayis of the dough. You understand? So as you're right 100%. If the cake is puffy, right? So it has a lot of air. I mean, the piece looks big, but it's less than kizayis. And plus to add all of these creams and, as you said, layers, and which is not Mezonot. So it's hard to understand. So I would just say like don't put yourself in a situation where it's possible that it is kizayis. Maybe yes, maybe no. So solution is eat more than kizayis, like eat 2 pieces. So for sure it's going to be more than kizayis, right? Or eat less than this, less. That's for sure. So you take it in your hand and weight like approximately. And there are many authorities say that mincha ha'olam, like that's what we do in the world, even though it's not halacha, but it became the custom. So we count other ingredients toward the Mezonot weight. So basically, many authorities say that all of this, the cream and all of these things, fillings, so they count as a Mezonot weight. I mean, if it's an apple pie, that's a different story. I mean, I'm not talking about like apple pie, right? So there you're not going to have Mezonot. But I'm talking about like regular, I don't know, cake with a layers. So maybe you have like jelly, layer of jelly, layer of cream. So I'm talking about such a case. So eat less or for sure more.
Is the second opinion b'diavad or no?
No, it's not b'diavad. No. So they can. I mean, if it's a lot of, if it's like thin, I don't know, cookie, and you have a lot of creams, of course, does not apply. But if it's normal, like a thin layer inside, so yeah, you can count this layer, basically.
That applies no matter how many layers there are, though, correct? Or
I mean, if it's obvious, like you see, one more time that there is no specific formula to say maybe if it's 20% it apply, if it's 30% it's not. There is no such a thing. Just so you know. So if you see it's in significant way, it's like I don't know, many layers, right? Then of course it does not apply. But only thin layer, 1 or 2, and some cream on top, so it would apply. And plus cream that does not weigh so much. Understand? So I mean, I apologize that there's no definite answer, but that's what it is. So one more time, not to put yourself in that situation, you can eat for sure more, for sure less during the bread meal. So bread meal, okay, it's according to all of the opinions. is going to work, or if you ate other Mezonot, for example, right? It's also good. One comment that I forgot to make. We have actually said it in one of the notes. I just remembered that even a beer, right? There is I'm not sure. Like beer is made of barley. I'm not sure from what the beer is made. So, but for sure, one of these 5 species, I think it's barley, right? And even vodka is also, I think it's from wheat, or like most of it from wheat. So even though there is a significant amount of Mezonot in this mixture, since it is liquid, we never can count it as a Mezonot, basically. That's exception, right? I mean, we count as Mezonot when we talk about Pesach. So for Pesach, it's for sure beer is forbidden, vodka is forbidden, even it's like tiny ingredients is Mezonot. Okay, so continue. Okay, so we said if it's not practical, I mean, if it's possible, I don't know. Let's say it's not Shabbos, and you can add take some more of one ingredient to make a definite majority. So do it. But on Shabbos, I mean, even on Shabbos, it would be permitted, I guess, because you separate good from bad. Okay. Continue. E. Combinations which are not considered single entities. Right? We have thus far seen, section C and D, that when separate foods in mixture, which is judged as one single entity, only one bracha is required. When foods are eaten in combinations, which is not classed as single entity, there is neither the physically nor halachically a single entity. Separate brachas are required for these various of foods. So that's we just read about what David was asking before about the two like buffet style, when you put like two dishes next to each other. They're not mixed. That's exactly this. Continue. Determining the appropriate bracha for other combinations involves 2 issues. Okay, so it's not so simple. So some people say like you're going to talk the whole class about blessing. What is to say about blessing? On the apples you say this, on the potatoes you say this, and basically on meat you say that, right? Determining the appropriate bracha for other combination involve 2 issues. First, we must determine that the combination is required, the combination in question is indeed not considered a single entity. Not considered a single entity. This issue is dealt with in the first part of the section. So meaning, if it's not a single entity, we say that the pieces are so big they're not mixed. So the good example that we might give, you have a chicken and you have string beans, a piece of chicken, string beans, or right. So I mean they're not mixed. So it's not single entities. So in this case, for sure, you need to make 2 blessings. After we have established that a particular combination is indeed not considered a single entity, we must determine which bracha or brachas, in plural, are appropriate for such combination. This dealt with in the second part of this section, E2. Wow, it's very long. I'm not sure. You know what? Let's. It's a lot of information. We're not going to finish. Let's leave off on E, and we're going to go to the questions because the Shabbos is coming soon. All right, so let's do questions. Whatever you have, please go ahead. No question. Whoa, that's it. Okay, it's shorter class then. Abraham, any questions? Any topic? Whatever you want. You're on mute. Just saying, you're on mute. Okay, no problem. So then good Shabbos.
Shabbos.